Entschuldigt bitte, ich bin Schneewittchen.
Schneewittchen? Die Prinzessin?
My boss, Jack Cutting, started with Snow White back in the 40s. And he traveled all over the world, starting the dubbing for Disney. When I started in it, there were only 4 people. And now we have people in every country supervising the dubs. But basically, what we do is still the same thing that Jack Cutting started in the 40s.
Basically, my job at Disney is to take everything that's created in animation and put it in up to about 35 different languages. So it's a real behind-the-scenes job that most people don't even know exists, but when you really think about it, children don't read subtitles, and the only way to really reach them is to put it in their language and their culture.
¿Qué dijiste?
Mi nombre es Pocahontas.
The steps of the process for translating our films is that first we take the original feature, we look at the nuances that exist within the English version.
That hurts!
If you'd hold still, it wouldn't hurt as much.
Well, if you hadn't have run away...
Looking at how we can be equally clever in the foreign dubs. So we use the very best translators who can adapt what is in the original and localize it so that it translates well into the individual territories.
痛いぞ!
じっとしてればそんなに痛くないわ。
お前が逃げなければ怪我もしなかった。
あなたが脅かしたから逃げたのよ。
Traditionally, the way we start with the characters in the United States is we record the voices first.
You ain't worth my time.
And then we animate to the performances. The challenge we have internationally is we're given these pre-existing characters with pre-existing mouth movements, and we have to adapt the script to match every lip flap and still make sense of the dialogue and story. So as we're recording the international version, it's our goal to give the perception through meticulous translation of the songs and dialogue that the film was originally created in that given language. It makes it much more believable.
Our feeling is it is not an American movie that we're translating into that country's language. This is a Japanese movie. It's a Chinese movie. It is their movie, their language, everything in it, it's theirs.
The individual character voices come from a huge casting process.
Sometimes it's very difficult to find that right person that matches the character in the English. The personality, to find a Mushu, what kind of a comic personality can do an Eddie Murphy. To find somebody that can bring that kind of character to life in each country, we listen to all kinds of comedians.
Let me hear you say, ah! That's close enough! Yoika Mulan, そなたを助けに来た!
你祖先請我嚟做你嘅軍事顧問。
Yoki Sono! Yoki Sono! Ich bin der kraftvolle, der wunderbare, der gigantische Mushu.
In the case of someone like Otto in Germany, he was a very specific talent and a comedian that we thought could play that role, and it was very successful. The people love him in Germany, and therefore, because they love him, like we love Eddie Murphy here, they could adapt Otto's humor to that character, and it worked extremely well.
Wie war das? Da geht mein Baby nun hin und wirft sich in den Kampf.
As with Mulan, as with Hercules, as with Hunchback of Notre Dame, the most difficult thing is to bring something that really originated in a different culture, take Disney's version of it and bringing it back to their culture. So bringing a story which is basically on Chinese folklore and taking it back to China is something which we want to make sure we get right. Our first step was casting, and there I think putting Jackie Chan as Shang, or whether it be Coco Lee as Mulan in the uncredited vocal, those are things which really add a lot of legitimacy to the Chinese versions.
The important thing was to pick those people that would touch that audience. That's why Jackie Chan was an absolute lock, that he was perfect for it. Coco Lee, I didn't know. We had a little clip of her, and I got there for the recording, and she said, "You mind if I just go in the room by myself, turn out the lights, and let me just feel the song and do it?" I said, "Fine, okay." So I just sat back, and she started to sing, and I thought, oh my God, what a voice. Great. And she was perfect.
Mulan was really such a wonderful story to work on. When you sit in an audience and you're watching the local version, and you know the domestic inside and out because you've worked on it now 100 times, and you're getting the same response, even though you're not speaking Chinese, but you get the same response, the same feeling. You see what happens in all these countries around the world, virtually the same thing you see in the United States happening simultaneously. I mean, it's quite a feeling of accomplishment.